What's up, everybody? It's Joe from Empire Music, empiremusic.com in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Fresh off a triumphant return from NAMM. We had an amazing NAMM show. We have tons of cool stuff coming your way. So let's not bury the lead. We got lots of new stuff coming, got tons of cool new stuff in stock. We are bringing back our trade-in event. We ran it last year. It was wildly successful. Now, through the end of March, trade in your qualified piece of gear and get 15% off any new gear, $7.99 and up. Here at Empire, we made it easier this time. Last year, we did acoustic guitars first, I think, then electric guitars, or vice versa. We just did this kind of slow rollout. We're just hitting it hard right out of the gate. 15% off new gear, asterisks. There's a handful of minor exceptions. 15% off new gear with your qualified trade-in. What's a qualified trade-in? Stuff that is in great working condition. Is things that we're going to be able to sell. Well, the cool thing with this is it's so transparent. You hit us up with your equipment, you tell us what you want, we get a few pictures from you, you tell us about the condition it's in, and then we hit you with a value. You agree, we send you a label. We make it so simple to get the new stuff that you want, and we take your trade-ins in, because our used business is really growing. We have a sick collection here of used stuff. While I was gone, tons of trade-ins happened. I'm gonna show off some of it, but I got trade-ins for weeks to show you now, so we're definitely gonna be busy. So I want your trade-ins. Again, 15% off new gear, $7.99 and up with your trade-in. Like how Brent, you see Brent went up, he did it with me. That was cool. I didn't fly solo on that. We're gonna get you, so we got obviously huge deals with Taylor, Martin, their all new line, Fender Custom Shop, Gibson, the Fender production line. There's tons of opportunities to save big on the newest stuff in the market. I mean, there's been tons of cool launches right now, so we are excited to do the promo with the trades right now, because I think it just, I mean, there's just tons of interest in all the gear as it is already. So if you got something you want to trade in, you don't have a trade in, have no fear. Give us a shout. We'll take care of you. I promise on that. So without further ado, let's get to it. First guitar, Collings out of Austin, Texas. OM1E, ENGELMAN spruce top, Honduran mahogany back and sides. Collings are like super hand-built guitars, really nice instruments. You know, there's definitely obviously a Martin, an ode to Martin in their builds. They do have a bolt-on neck, which is kind of like the side where they kind of transfer away. Lacquer finish though, very artisan done. I always find these to be a touch punchier than a Martin, so a little not quite as fat. This particular one's, I think, a 2024. It's super clean, gorgeous instrument. ENGELMAN spruce gives you a really broken in experience. So if you think about it, like Adirondack's the most powerful, then Sitka. ENGELMAN isn't as powerful as those, but it sounds more almost like the guitar is almost 10 years old already. You know, it's kind of got this character, a little bit of overtones to it. Honduran mahogany is interesting because that's where, if you think about the Martins from the late 30s and 40s that were the most sought after guitars in the world, today in the vintage market, it was Honduran mahogany, so that's what they're using here, which is great. Ebony fingerboard and bridge, original case. I don't want to say this thing is flawless. I hate to use the word mint, but dang, this thing is clean. So if you're after a beautiful instrument, get you hooked up on this. Really, really nice piece. Next up is a 60s custom shop jazz bass, Olympic white mint guard, stack knob, as God intended. This thing is the truth. I love the way this thing looks, which is interesting because this is an aged vintage finish, right? You can see that here. And then you're going to see in a little bit a production Fender Olympic white, and it doesn't look quite the same. Vintage, just jazz bass pickups, and this is what they call them. The stack knobs give you tons of control options. Anthony's done videos on all sorts of basses like this before. Alder body, quarter saw maple neck, 60s U-neck. A U-neck, you say? So if you think about this, you see, U is deeper. I can't do it because my hand's only, this is deeper. So a little bit chunkier feel, thin nut though. These always feel super comfortable. AAA rosewood fingerboard, mint guard, original case. Obviously a relic, so saying this one is mint is kind of funny, but it is very, very clean as original, as you'd expect. Gorgeous guitar. You know what I mean? Like, this is really, really cool. Which kind of leads us into, so you think about the jazz bass, when this came out in the early 60s, or the 1960s, kind of revolutionized bass because it has a signature sound. And I'm going to flow that right into this sweet Rickenbacker 4003 and FIREGLO. To me, if there's an instrument, this thing still has a sticker on, this is definitely a 2024. If there's an instrument that you can close your eyes and hear the sound of a Rickenbacker is definitely one of the handful that you can do that with. Their original pickups, electronics, maple body, maple neck, walnut strip. It's just like, I don't get too deep on these. It's a, look, the little sticker tells you look at that. You get a vintage or modern, whatever you like. Hyper clean. Oh, there's a little dimple. Finally, as I say, did anybody play these instruments? Really just gorgeous guitars. The Rick stuff that we have come in used always flies right out the door. They always have crazy low action for, I mean, this thing is slammed. The body contours, I mean, this is just a sleek instrument, neck through, dynamite. So always fun to get something like this. Next guy up is an American Pro II Strat Olympic weight. Wait a second, the other one was Olympic weight. Now this one has had a mint guard on it, or a parchment guard. It's been changed aftermarket to white. This has also had upgraded locking tuners on it, which is sweet. The cool thing about this, you have VMod 2 pickups in it, which really great sounding guitar. I always think like an American Pro II is a guitar you can just take out, you could hand to anybody in any scenario and they could rip through a gig and sound amazing. It's like, it doesn't make really a difference any genre. This will hold up for sure. Has a push knob in the back here, and that one's when the first position, the first pickup is engaged in either positions 1 or 2, you can roll the neck in, so you can fatten up that bridge pickup. I think if you ask most Strat players, positions 2, 4, and 5 are where the money's made. It's a cool way to use that first pickup, bridge pickup, get that glassy sound that you want, just enrich it a little bit. Maple neck, natural feel. They did a beautiful job. One of my favorite things about the American Pro II is they have some name that I've never been able to remember. The neck finish is like ultra real feel neck, whatever. But they did put it's like a broken in neck feel on it, and it is just the most comfortable, sleek, smooth neck you'll ever feel. It's just a killing guitar. Absolutely beautiful. Everything you need in a Stratocaster. Now this guitar, 2015 Martin DC PA4. This was an interesting time for Martin guitars. I remember it because I was there. Not at Martin, I was here talking about these guitars. They really wanted to build out a cutaway acoustic-electric line of guitars, but with Taylor, what they were doing, it was just so popular. And Martin was throwing everything against the wall. They were doing all sorts of crazy stuff. This is one of the guitars that did not make the cut long-term, but I think if they would work these into the line now, it would make sense for them, believe it or not. It's just like, this is cool. Solid spruce top, solid, I want to say Sapele back and sides. It might be mahogany. I think it's Sapele. Cool thing with this is they have Fishman electronics built in with the built-in tuner, real sleek design here. For a while, they did this like little fishbowl electronics on a lot of models. They had retro models, they were called, and it was crazy. It came with a DVD that you had to watch, and it had these 2 buttons, and if you held them down and tapped this one twice, that was your treble EQ. Like tapped it 4 times was the bass. Let off. I mean, it was just overwhelming what it did. This was a very straightforward volume tone tuner control, which is awesome. It bypasses when you're in the tuning mode. Rich light fingerboard and bridge, which you know, if you think about premium guitars, you want ebony, but at Rich Light, what's cool about this is if you like the gig, or you're not always taking the most attention to detail or care of your guitars, the Rich Light holds up really, really well. It's really hard and fast, so it promotes a lot of volume. This guitar's super light. It's kind of a banger. It's a cool guitar. I don't know how much this is. $9.99. It's a lot of guitar for $1,000 used, that's for sure. And I think it's like one of those things where if you want Martin's sonic kind of reference point, and you want to cut away in electronics and easy to play guitar, this thing lights out. I think just in this era, they brought out so many guitars trying to figure out what people wanted that it just overwhelmed. Whereas if they'd just brought this, like I said, I think if they brought this out today, it would just slay. So a very relevant guitar. For 9 years old, it is in phenomenal condition. As you know, we dial all the guitars in to make sure they play great before they go out. So it'd be a great playing experience. Last, this guy's pretty cool. This is a limited edition Eastman SB55. Lawler dog ear P90 in it, Faber bridge. You know, Eastman obviously not creating something new, and this is just like a Les Paul Jr. I'll call it a tribute. Gibson probably say it's a ripoff. Potato. A Kume body, so kind of light body, a little punchier in that regard. The Lawler pickups are dynamite. I mean, you're really just tons of character, fat sounding. This guitar just feels amazing. Ebony fingerboard, original case, super sexy. This got traded in by our guy Roger, who's up here all the time, and you know, just like he's a professional player, he really takes great care of his stuff. You know, like studio musician. So this is really gorgeous, just cool guitar. Eastman stuff always flies out of here used. So quiz time. What did we learn today? We learned that you're nuts if you don't reach out. Certifiable. That if you don't use the opportunity right now for our trade-in event, 15% off, $7.99 and up with trade-in. Reach out. Just tell us a little bit about your guitar. We're gonna ask you a few questions. These transactions happen very fast. Almost all of our trade-ins come from outside of our region. So I want you to understand that's how easy we make it. Nobody wants a headache, believe me. We've got plenty of them here on our own. We're not trying to create more for anyone or ourselves. So we give you the trade-in value, we agree on the deal, we send you a label, you send us the guitar, we make sure it's as described, and we send you your guitar. Easy. It's so cool. I'm so excited to do it. Our used selection is just slamming right now. If it's just something you want to buy and don't have a trade-in, don't worry about it. We'll hook you up. We have amazing opportunities to get new gear at Empire. This is going to be the biggest sales event of the year. I think everyone always waits to the holiday, and at the holiday, you're not trading, this is when it is. This is when the new gear's coming. We've got all the new stuff from Martin, all the new stuff from Taylor, Fender Custom Shop, Gibson's, just huge Gibson's display. Most Gibsons we have ever had. We want you to get a great guitar from us. We want to give you a great deal. Take advantage of the trade-in event. Just give us a call at the shop, 412-343-5299. You can chat with us through the site or just hit me at joe@empiremusic.com, and we will make sure you get a great trade value. It's fair and transparent. We'll make it easy for you to get it to us with a prepaid label, and we'll get you 15% off the new gear that you've been chasing already. This is Old This Week at Empire.